What's going on with this skill progression drama in Star Citizen, and what do we actually know about traits, attributes, and techniques, skill progression, all that sort of jazz? It's actually quite a bit. Skill progression is something that's become a hot topic in Star Citizen again recently, and it's causing a bit of drama because it wasn't an expected feature. In fact, CIG had originally said they weren't going to do improvable stats with your characters, but CIG have made progress with this feature and mentioned it in their monthly reports. In fact, the report said, the feature team have been experimenting with skill progression, which involves players performing specific in-game actions to make them better at similar activities. For example, building up strength will allow players to carry heavier objects with fewer penalties, while performing takedowns will open access to quicker and quieter action set. So people have been talking about how this isn't what they expected with Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, as they're supposed to not have any forms of XP or leveling, and this is a sort of a relatively subtle form of that. But to what extent as well can we improve or train our character? Now, we actually know quite a lot from CitizenCon 2022. Last year, Chris Roberts talked about the future of skills, attributes, and techniques. Now, be aware this might have evolved a little over the last year, and obviously once they implement it and iterate on it, it's going to look a little bit different. But when they talked about it there, they said there are two major sets of skills: physical attributes and techniques. So physical attributes, this includes strength, agility, endurance, fitness. Techniques-wise, we've got takedowns and sort of traversal techniques, but it could be other things as well within techniques. Now, how you play the game will define how you level these skills. If you carry lots of things, you have heavier loadouts and that sort of stuff, you are going to be improving your strength. You'll be able to carry heavier things while moving faster with less stamina after a while. It will build up and you'll be able to carry more in your inventory. Weight does not affect you as much the more you improve your strength. You can sprint further with heavier items and your stamina is less affected. Force reactions, like having your aim knocked off, falling on the floor because you're in a ship that suddenly does a turn, or you like getting knocked around by explosions, that sort of stuff is all lessened. Agility will affect weapon swapping and going down to like aim down sights, that sort of stuff. It might make you quicker at traversal and like jumping up on ledges, things like that. Endurance affects environmental resistance. Survive in cold or hot environments for longer. Need less food and drink. G-force and redout resistance as well, so that'll be absolutely fantastic for combat pilots. Fitness, this will directly affect your stamina. The more fit you are, the more stamina you have, or the more efficient you are with it, allowing you to run and swim longer. You can just do more for longer, including things like holding your breath. There does seem to be potentially a lot of crossover with all of these stats, including like strength and fitness, for example. At least for me, there's a bit of confusion there. There's not a full breakdown of exactly what is covered under each of those attributes. You will improve these just by playing the game though, both with flying and FPS. It does sound like you will be able to lift weights in a gym, you will be able to invest time in training your character in certain areas to best suit them, and they will be better at those type of things because of that. They said they aren't removing any of the player skill elements, so your own personal skill as a player is the most important factor, full stop. No straight up damage bonuses with this stuff, so no 10% extra damage, no being able to fly faster or just be better at flying. That said, these elements that they're talking about clearly affect those mechanics somewhat, and it does sound like they want dedicated areas of focus for players, meaning that these stats will automatically suit your gameplay style and what you're trying to do. So if you're regularly doing a load of FPS combat and running around loads, your agility and your fitness and that sort of stuff, and if you're wearing heavy loadouts, you're wearing heavy armor, your strength's going to improve. If you're trying to catch a bounty, so someone's running away from you and you're both wearing heavy armor, and if you've worked on your strength and fitness, you're going to be able to run them down. You're basically going to be able to run faster than them and catch them. Let's move on to techniques. Apparently there's going to be lots of different skills across Star Citizen, and we know a couple of them that they keep on talking about. So takedowns. Your first takedown that you do in-game is probably going to be very sloppy. Yeah, so you press a button to do a takedown when you're in the right area. If you're behind someone or whatever, you're going to take them down, they'll show an animation, and you'll be taking that guy down. Now, the more you do that, the better and quicker and quieter you'll do that. You'll basically unlock more animations, and you'll be able to do those takedowns faster. You're basically rewarded by being able to do them better because you've done them a lot. This is also the case for melee and knife fighting. So they may have martial arts and moves they talked about and different animations you could execute. You might be able to learn martial arts or different combos or whatever from an NPC and then practice them to get better at them. Now, that's quite a minor thing, really, because the amount of times you're actually going to be brawling is probably going to be very minor, right? You're mostly going to be using a better weapon or a pew-pew when you're in FPS. So if players are trying to do cage matches and fight in sort of close combat, there might be areas for that. We know there's like a ring in the prison to actually do some hand-to-hand combat, and maybe there is sort of like a career path for those sort of fights, and there's going to be the odd time where, well, actually knowing a combo or some martial arts or whatever might be really beneficial for you in game and cool. One of the things is, I believe the idea is that you won't be able to be the best and train your character in every area. It would take too much time and other areas would suffer because of that. It sounds like you'll be able to get better just from playing the game organically, but also actively going and training your physical attributes and techniques. How high is the ceiling though? CIG suggests that like these attributes and skills, there are lots of little 1 to 5% differences, but there's also quite a few advantages in certain areas that all would add up. You're going to be tracking all of these stats and skills and everything with a mobiGlas app. I'm also expecting all of the NPCs to just have different stats for all of these different things as well. So it sort of makes sense that if the NPCs have different stats like that they want players to have them as well and vice versa. Now, this is not coming to the next patch for Star Citizen. This isn't coming to Alpha 3.20 or it's not coming anytime soon. But this will be in both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. This info has a lot of ideas in it, but we don't really know how it's going to look when it's actually implemented in game. We don't know the extent of exactly what will be covered and stats that you can improve and how to improve them all. There are a ton of questions. Are there just going to be some stats and things that are just OP? It's super overpowered. You might as well improve them for every character. They suggest it's just minor improvements, but what are the ceilings for all of these? How good can I get at running? Can I just get insanely good? How are they treated when I die and respawn? Do I lose my attributes when I die? Can I buy better clones to protect my stats? Can I pay to have better stats? Can I just go, I want to just be better at this sort of thing? Can I just pay to have some sort of surgery or drug or something? How long does it take to improve your stats or techniques? Do stats and skills degrade over time if you don't use them regularly? I am slightly concerned by some of these mechanics, but only because I'm thinking of the worst case scenarios where some players are superhuman. Or I sort of lose everything after a crash or some sort of random way of dying and I'm back in my really weak clone after I was training for 20 hours. It's important to see this in-game before we make any judgments, I suppose. I want to see that game implementation. I trust CIG for the most part to make a great game, but also they will iterate and evolve that gameplay based on feedback and based on where it goes. Like they'll try it and they'll iterate on it and they'll go, yes, this is good, this is bad, or whatever. This could genuinely add a load of depth and character to the game and help you be better at your chosen roles in-game just from playing. If it helps give your character more character and make you enjoy the game more, great. That's fantastic. If it's clearly unbalanced and super overpowered for certain players to do certain things, then bad. Also, it does go against what was originally said with no XP and leveling, because this is a form of that. But I'm fine with game development being pretty fluid and them changing stuff like this, as long as it's good for the game. Interesting that it's in Squadron 42 as well, as I would have thought that there's too small a time frame for you to improve your character by doing things, right? But maybe you'll choose some stats and skills to start with? Actually, maybe we'll do this in Star Citizen when we create characters as well. Maybe there will be starting stats and things that we can specialize in. We can go, well, actually, I've been lifting stuff. I used to be a cargo pilot. Or I've gone full marine and I'm very good at my fitness and reasonably good at my strength. Boom! That's it for your skills, techniques, and whatever else it was, attributes update. I'm really interested to know what you think on this. Do you think this is something that will add flavor to the game? Are you looking forward to it? Is it exciting? Are you really against it? Are you concerned that there might be like additional toughness and resistance to bleed and stuff that might make a huge difference in gameplay when you're fighting someone like one-on-one FPS? Do people look at Star Citizen too competitively, even at the MMO level, where they go, maybe they should be looking at it more as a storage generator, and it's just interesting to participate in the universe, rather than be like, I am the best bounty hunter, I will not die, I am invincible? Is it all about the journey and the friends we made along the way? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, including, why do you think it's in Squadron 42? Do you think it's actually going to be something that you can train in the gym between missions, and that will make you stronger? If you've got any questions or you want to add anything, please chuck it in the comments below as well. Are we alone in the universe? The truth is out there, but what if aliens visit Earth, but they're like monsters, and all they do is look through your internet history, judging you, laughing at you with all their alien friends, watching your every move live, and then they send like 1 million ads to you about alien products that you don't want, like those shoes and socks that have a gap between your big toes. No one needs that. But what you do need is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, which helps you prevent that happening from the more real threat of humans doing the same. It encrypts your internet connection, hides your IP address and location, it has an inbuilt ad blocker, and also helps you gain access to region-based content. You should go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and get a big old discount. You can also click the links below. Every month, we have a ship giveaway. For August, it's for a Crusader Mercury Star Runner with lifetime insurance. This medium-sized, well-armed cargo and data hauler is great for trying out a huge range of what Star Citizen has to offer, a perfect mission runner ship. To be in for a chance of winning, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details in the description below. There are some amazing people that help support the channel by clicking on the join button under my videos and becoming a channel member or becoming a Patreon with the links below. That helps keep the channel going and producing daily content. Please consider joining their ranks, but commenting, liking, subscribing, that all massively helps too. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the verse.